And thank you very much for joining us this evening. This is live, and thanks to the City of Enid Communications Center for putting this together. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. I'm Frank Baker, Director of CTB Digital Marketing and Promotions, and I'm tickled to be involved with this platform because these are two very vital races for the future of Enid and Enid area representation. We have the candidates for State Senate District 19, the incumbent, Roland Peterson, as well as the challenger, David Mason, and also the House District 40 race. We have the incumbent, Chad Caldwell, and the challenger, Taylor Venus. And we basically kind of did this alphabetically, so what we'll be doing, we'll go to the State Senate race first, and in just a few moments, we'll hear from David Mason, and then we'll go to the incumbent, State Senator Roland Peterson, take a tiny break after that, then move on to the House race with first Chad Caldwell, Representative Chad Caldwell, and then challenger Taylor Venus. Now, this is not going to be a typical forum where there'll be questions and back and forth. This is a case, since everybody is so deep into the campaign, at this point, they've been nice enough to share time with us, and we're just going to ask them for approximately 5 minutes of their stance on the issues and essentially their platform. That's why we're calling this kind of a candidate's presentation or platform. So first off, Senator Peterson and Representative Caldwell, thank you for your service, and David Mason and Taylor Venus, thank you guys for your willingness to serve. It's appreciated in all directions. So first off, let's go with the State Senate race, and the first 5 minutes will be from challenger David Mason. So if we're ready technically, I think we'll go to Zoom, and David, it's all you. And hang on just a second, sir. We're not hearing the audio. My apologies. Every once in a while there are technical glitches in this world. Okay. I think you need to unmute at your end, David. Are you muted? I think you should be live now. David, your 5 minutes, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Well, thanks, Frank. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Mason, and I am running to be your next Oklahoma State Senator. Hold on, Frank. I think we've got technical difficulty here.
Well, we're seeing you and hearing you, David.
Okay. All right. They were telling me it wasn't coming through. I'm running to be your next Oklahoma State Senator because I think it's time for Northwest Oklahoma to step up and demand a stronger voice down at the state capitol. I was born and raised in rural Oklahoma, where I followed in my dad's footsteps and taught public school for 12 years. After teaching, I started a small business and eventually ended up retiring as an insurance executive right here in Enid. I want to take the skills that I learned in the classroom and in the boardroom to the Capitol because I believe that I can make real results for you. Throughout the last 9 months, I have knocked on over 7,000 doors throughout Senate District 19. There's one thing that I hear over and over whenever I'm on the doorstep, and that is that people are fed up with politics as usual down at the Capitol. They are tired of the politicians making promise after promise and then raising their taxes every other year. They are tired of our schools suffering, and most importantly, they are tired of rural Oklahoma being forgotten about. Let me promise you one thing. I will not settle for the status quo any longer, and I hope that you won't either. I will go down to the Capitol and use the skills that I learned in the private sector to craft and execute a lean budget. We will work to cut reckless spending and ensure financial transparency is upheld. There is no reason to raise taxes every single time that the price of oil falls. I will work to bring bold reform to our public education system by returning decision-making ability to our local level and by requiring more money to be spent in the classroom. I will fight tooth and nail to protect your Second Amendment rights, and I will fight to protect the unborn. But most importantly, I will never, ever forget about you. I will hold listening sessions across the district on a regular schedule so that you can always have access to me. I am very sorry that you could not be here today to have a voice in this short forum. Last Tuesday night, this community provided a 2-hour open forum for our sheriff's candidates, but for the Senate and the House races, they have provided one 5-minute statement for you to make your decision from. There are outside actors, bad actors, that didn't want an open forum for the public to be able to ask the hard questions. And I've gone out of my way to make sure that it's just politics as usual is what they've done. Well, I say that it's not good enough anymore. Given that, I want to announce that Enid Brewing Company in downtown Enid will be hosting a Get Out to Vote public candidate forum this Saturday at noon. They have invited myself, they're inviting my opponent, and they've invited both of the House candidates to attend. I will be there. I will be there and I will answer every question that you have. The event will be live streamed, and I encourage everyone to show up because I believe your voice matters, and I'm excited to hear from you. So in closing, this race is about a choice to reject the status quo and send a business-minded person, a political outsider to the Capitol, or to choose to continue politics as usual that got us into this mess that we have right now. I hope to see you this Saturday at noon at the Enid Brewing Company, and I'm asking for your vote, David Mason, to be your next Oklahoma State Senator. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sir David. David Mason, one of the candidates for the State Senate District 19 race. And remember, the primary is on June 30th. And up next, we have the incumbent State Senator Roland Peterson. And Roland, looks like you might have to unmute yourself looking at the screen. So, Senator, whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Appreciate being here tonight. Thank you all for watching. This is kind of a rescheduled deal for me. I had an event here scheduled over at Blackwell to visit with the folks, but this is going to work out okay. Most of you know me already. I've been around for just 4 years. I'm not a political outsider at all. I learned the business drinking from a water fountain in the last 4 years. And I feel like that I am at a level now that I can bring you a good, solid legislative accountability. I'm a lifelong resident of the district. I was educated here. All my education was done here, raised my family here, grew my business here. I was the first science teacher in the new building when it was first built out at Chisholm School. I was there when that began. I also went then on to be an administrator at the Kremlin Hillsdale School while serving in the Air Force Reserves all that time. I am proud to represent what I consider the best district in the state of Oklahoma. Where my family has been raised. Like I said, we just finished our wheat harvest actually they're finishing it up today. My family has been here and we've worked tirelessly together, which is a real reward for me as far as working with family. My whole family is in this race with me together. They're supporting me and I couldn't do this alone, that's for sure. There are several achievements that I think that I brought to the Enid community and to my district. One being the Greer Center. That was on a track to leave the city of Enid. And because of some other legislative, Chad Caldwell, some of the other legislators, we made sure that establishment stays here. And they're going to build a new facility out there on the southeast corner. And we have secured bond money for that, and I'm proud of that achievement. Also, the endowed chair situation that where $12 million had been raised by local people for the chairs for education at the Northern Oklahoma College and Northwestern. That money has sat there for 12 years, and we finally got the state to match those funds and get those off the books of the state. Even in a year when we were in a pretty dire strait as far as our income and budget went. Also, I am proud of the infrastructure achievements that I've made. When I first was elected, Oklahoma was reeling from a drought, and we passed a water bill that actually will eliminate or will prevent the Water Resources Board from just shutting the water down all at once. Those are important issues, important things that were done for the Garfield County area and my district. If you look at any of my resumes over the last month, You've seen 30 endorsements from community leaders across the state. And I appreciate those people stepping up and seeing what I have done in order to develop my agenda and get things accomplished in my district. That's not done. These achievements include a wide variety of things that we have done, but they include people that are really appreciative of that, including United States Senator Inhofe, including United States Senator Langford, and the Lieutenant Governor, who was at my farm just last week, rode the combine, and I really tried to emphasize the importance of keeping agriculture first and foremost, and I accompanied him last fall on a trade mission to Taiwan to sell our ag products. And I am proud of being able to stand face to face with those guys and tell what we need out here in rural Oklahoma. And with that, I appreciate the opportunity to serve what I consider the best district in the state of Oklahoma. I look forward to 4 more years, and I would appreciate your vote on June 30th. Thank you.
All right, thank you, State Senator Peterson. David Mason, thank you, sir. I think now we'll go ahead and give us just a few moments, and we'll put you guys back in the waiting room, and you can go about your busy day. So thank you for making time for us, and we'll bring on the candidates for District 40, the incumbent Chad Caldwell, as well as a challenger Taylor Venus. And as Senator Peterson made reference to, remember June 30th is the date when you will be voting on this race this coming Tuesday. So this gives you a chance to get some last minute information. And just not only looking at this, do further research. I think if you do a deep dive, either print, broadcast, digitally, there's a lot of information on these 2 races. So we encourage you to stay just as informed as you possibly can before the vote. So what we did, just like we did with the state Senate race, we're basically presenting the 2 candidates alphabetically. So incumbent Chad Caldwell, the current representative for State House District 40, will go first, and Taylor Venus will go second. So Chad, whenever you're ready, sir.
Very good. Well, thank you, Frank. Always good to see you, even if it's on the other end of a computer screen. So
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet. And thank you to everyone out there who is taking time out of your busy day to join us today. So I certainly appreciate that. Before I begin, I wanted to wish my youngest daughter, Caroline, a very special happy birthday. She is turning 13 today. And as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go back out and join the rest of the family at the celebration. So I just wanted to make sure and wish her a very happy birthday. So look, I think anytime you're going to talk about 2021, you can't do that without unfortunately talking about COVID-19 and our response to that. There's no question that has certainly impacted us in a variety of ways. And so I think how we respond to that really is going to determine how much that impact and how long that impact is going to continue to be felt. So look, as someone who runs a small business, I understand what it's like to sign both the front and back of a paycheck. I understand the responsibility that comes with that. And that responsibility you feel, it isn't just about that business and your own family. It becomes about your workers, it becomes about their lives and their families, and truly the responsibility you feel to take care of that. And that's why I think one of our biggest priorities going forward has to be about how we deal with our small businesses and how we as a state government can help get out of the way and to make sure that we give them the best opportunity of success, the best opportunity to thrive. Because when they thrive, we're ultimately more successful as a community. Look, this has always been a priority to me. Some of you may remember I was the author and behind the successful passage of the Oklahoma Retail Protection Act. It was a law that helps level the playing field for Oklahoma small businesses. But this is something that should be important for all Oklahomans at this point in time. Look at our downtown square, for example. We are very fortunate in Enid to be surrounded by modern day pioneers that still have that entrepreneurial spirit. And we benefit as a community from all the small businesses wherever they're located in Enid. They are truly what drive our economy. So we must, as a state, number one, get out of their way, get their regulations out of the way, and encourage them. So because ultimately, when they're successful, we're successful. We're successful because our more successful small businesses, when they thrive, that means better jobs, it means more stable jobs, and it means higher paying jobs. Second thing that we really have to talk about, unfortunately, is the healthcare and the response to COVID-19. As a healthcare professional myself, I've seen firsthand the effects that this virus has had on our community. As the chairman of the Health Services Committee, I'm confident that this is going to be one of the primary topics that my committee is tasked with dealing with next year. Furthermore, I was honored to be tasked by Governor Stitt to serve on his CARES task force. This committee that I serve on is partially responsible for the assisting in the distribution of almost $1.3 billion in federal funds that we get to give back to our communities to assist in their dealing with COVID. So again, it's one of those opportunities where we can come together and work through some public-private partnerships to really help drive our economy forward. So, you know, again, the main two things for me, jobs and economy, and then from there on, healthcare. And really, if I can just sum it all up, I think I've got about a minute or so left maybe, but I just want to talk about leadership for a second. I'm a big believer that crisis reveals character. And it's in times like these when we really need real and strong leaders. And that's what I've done. I've stepped up in my 6 years in the legislature. And I will continue to do that as long as I'm able to serve the great people of Enid. That's why I've been endorsed by Governor Stitt. That's why I've been endorsed by Senator Langford. They understand, like me, that while we're in a difficult situation, our best days are still ahead of us. This is not the time for negativity and for tearing each other apart. Today is the time when we need to be coming together as a community, because when we come together as a community, we are ultimately going to be stronger together. And we have the tools and the abilities as Oklahomans to make sure that our better day is ahead of us. So each of us, in our own way, can make that day better and brighter for Oklahoma's future. So, Frank, thank you so much, as always, for your service and for taking time out. You're always a great community partner, and appreciate everything you guys have done in helping put this on today.
Okay, Chad, thank you very much. That's Chad Caldwell, the incumbent state representative in House District 40. We will now hear from his challenger, Taylor Venus. Taylor?
Can you hear me, Frank?
I can.
I just want to make sure. Okay. First off, I just want to thank everyone for joining in. I'm kind of disappointed this wasn't a real forum. You know, at the end of the day, whoever's going to be the representative or senator, they need to be working for you and talking to you. That's why I'm in my car today. You know, since the city and the Frank or the paper, they wanted to host this and provide opportunity. There was some outlying factors that decided they didn't want to participate. And so I decided I need to get on the doorstep. I need to talk to people. And that's what I've been doing. I'm sweating right now, I think, a little bit because it's kind of warm out. And I think at the end of the day, for us to move forward, for Oklahoma to succeed, we all have to work together. And I think the best way for us to work together here in Enid is if we all communicate well. If we have people at the Capitol that are going to listen to people back home, get your input. So that's one of the main things is why I'm running. I want your input. I want to do polls. I want to do forums. Because I genuinely believe that in our constitutional republic, that communication is best here in 2020. We're doing this on Zoom right now, and I'm doing this on my phone. I mean, most people's phones have more technology in them than what we took to the moon when we went to the moon on the first time. So if we're not utilizing technology, if we're not communicating with our constituents, how can we really say that we're all working together to make our state better, to make our district better? And I'm tired of I want to keep on working hard at the Capitol, like I've worked hard in Enid in different either in education. I'm currently the president of the Enid Public School Foundation. I'm in a few different nonprofits, you know, a ton of boards. But at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I've been called to serve. It's probably like my Christian faith that's pushed me to just give back. I was raised in a single person household, and my mom always taught me work hard and give back to others. I was the first person to go to college and graduate school in my family, and that's my American dream. My American dream was to work hard in education, and I want to make sure that every child in our community, in our state, can experience their American dream. And I don't want to make sure there's no factors that slow them down in education, whether it's in vocational school, whether it's just going straight in the workforce, or whether it's going to college. I want to make sure that we have a system in place where they can succeed through hard work, because that is the American dream. I believe that's the Oklahoma standard, and I want to get back to it. And I want someone at the Capitol that is going to work hard endlessly for this district, and I think that's going to be me, because I want to work with you. I'm tired of us being at the edge of the cliff in every industry, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's now healthcare, whether it was wind tax credits. I mean, the list goes long and long, and we keep on getting to the edge of the cliff before we're at a crisis before we ever do anything. And I'm tired of us sending people to the Capitol that lets us get over that edge of the cliff before they decide to be proactive and moving our state forward. We need to stop doing the same thing over and over again, and I think that comes back to communication and maintaining conservative values. And I believe that's the core of what Enid is hard work, communication, and conservative values. And I believe we all come together, we can do what's best for Enid, and we can do what's best for Oklahoma. So please vote for me on June 30th, or today, or tomorrow, or Saturday. So.
All right, Taylor, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. So that's Taylor Venus, who is the challenger to incumbent State Representative Chad Caldwell in District 40. I want to thank you folks for making some time to join us for both our state Senate race and our state House race. And of course, these will be archived through both the YouTube page and the Facebook page, where you'll be able, through the City of Enid Communications Department, to access this basically a candidate platform and presentation. We appreciate everybody, State Representative Chad Caldwell, Taylor Venus, and also David Mason and State Senator Roland Peterson for coming and spending time with us this afternoon. And a big thank you to Derek Silas, who's off stage right here, Dane Tate, who's in the control room, and we even accessed our city manager, Gerald Gilbert, who is working the phones, putting this thing together for the last couple of days. So appreciate Gerald and Scott and everybody at the City of Enid. So thank you so much for viewing, and maybe we'll get out of this Zoom world in the near future and get back to some face-to-face fun confrontations. And above all, vote June 30th. That's the most important thing. And thank you for watching. I'm Frank Baker.
Clear.